So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and today I'm going to be talking about a fight which took place on the weekend between Arslanbek Makhmudov versus Guido Vianetta. Probably butchered his name. But anyhow, in terms of this fight, it was a surprise loss in my eyes for Makhmudov. I'm not sure what most of you guys think about that, but his opponent, Guido Vianello, surprised everyone and came out and done a very constructive job on Makhmudov. And I honestly don't know what has gone wrong with Makhmudov in the last few fights, because since that loss he took to Ajit Caballero back in December 2000 last year, he just hasn't been the same. And that he got stopped in that fight, by the way, a fourth round stoppage against Caballero. But he obviously came back in May this year, stopped some guy. I don't even know who this guy was in 2 rounds, and most people probably thought, hey, that was, you know what I mean, that this is him probably back, and that was probably just a banana slip in terms of when he fought against Caballero. But he's now fought against this guy, Guido Vianello. I've not heard of this guy before he fought Makhmudov, and this guy has absolutely annihilated him in 8 rounds, stopped him, you know what I mean, dropped him in the 7th round, which didn't get scored, and it should have been scored because Makhmudov's gloves touched the floor, the canvas, sorry. So that should have been a 10-8 round there and then. But obviously the corner, you know what I mean, at the start of pretty much the start of the 8th round, stopped it because they asked him a simple question: how many fingers have I got up? And I think he answered 2, and yet they had 3. So obviously it was about right in terms of, you know what I mean, if the guy can't see, you have to think about his safety, because he can come back from these defeats, because this is his second defeat now in 21 fights. But I just don't know what's gone on with Makhmudov in the last 3 fights. I don't know if it's his training, his commitment, or what. But most fighters now are not scared of him, because I remember once upon a time most people say, you know what, this guy's going to be the next best heavyweight. This guy's scary as F. Do you know what I mean? Because he's big, he's got long limbs, he's got a head like a slab. He could take a punch, but he could give a punch at the same time. So most people put him down to as the next best thing, but he didn't show that in any of his last 3 fights. And what is very disappointing is that he rushes in on his opponents. You know, as he's about to throw a punch, he rushes in with his head, which his guard's nowhere to be seen. And most fighters are just throwing punches straight down the middle, yeah, or coming up with the uppercut, or round the corner with the hook, and they're catching him as he's coming in on them. And it's just a shame to see, because as I said, Makhmudov, these are basic things, and you're making something quite basic so destructive, because you're getting beat by people that realistically I don't think you should be getting beat by. The Caballero fight, yes, I get that, because Caballero's on good form, and he fought out of his skin that day. But this guy, Guido Vianello, I've never heard of him. But yeah, he's now got Makhmudov on his record. Now, in terms of the rankings, prior to the fight, Makhmudov was ranked obviously in the top 50 in most of the governing bodies. Obviously, the new updates haven't been published since his fight, but I guarantee once they will be published in September, he probably won't be in any of the top 15. He's had 2 losses in his last 3 fights, stopped twice in the last 3 fights, so I can't see him probably having a ranking. So he probably have to do some rebuilding. If I was him, I'd probably have the rest of this year off, do some soul searching, or maybe just, you know what I mean, knuckle down with your training or whatever, and then come back fresh in 2025. Have a few easy fights just to get me back into the swing of things, and then look for the bigger names. But yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts. Obviously, I didn't watch the whole fight. I just watched the highlights, and yes, highlights can't tell you the whole fight, but it told me enough. because what I did see from the highlights from rounds 1 to round 7 before they stopped it in the 8th was the same mistakes, rushing in with your head down low, getting caught by the uppercut far too much, getting caught with hooks left, right, centre, straight shots down the middle because you got no guard. Quite basic things really, but yeah, that's just my thoughts. You guys can let me know yours. Can Makhmudov come back from this? Can he return maybe the end of this year or maybe 2025 and be a contender again? We all know what happened to Joseph Parker. He did similar. Came back with some easier fights, then had some bigger fights, and now he's running on all 5 gears. He's full of confidence. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And as always, guys, please subscribe and comment. Bless.